health workers were always the target. And this is something that touches me deeply. These are my colleagues. I really need to defend them. It is their weakness to take on people that are absolutely non-violent and defending just principles of humanity and solidarity. I am Hanne Bosselaers. I'm a medical doctor, a general practitioner, and I work for an organization called Geneeskunde voor het Volk. We have 11 centers in Belgium, and we are medical action centers. So we struggle for the right to health for everybody. My center is located in Brussels, in Molenbeek, and so my daily work is to care for patients in a primary healthcare center. But I also have a strong connection to Palestine, because in 2013 I went to Gaza to work with Awda, a Palestinian health NGO, to establish the twinning between our medical center in Brussels and a primary healthcare center of Awda in Beit Hanoun, the upper north of Gaza. So I also still keep this solidarity bond with my colleagues from Awda, and that's how I became an activist for Palestine and how I ended up at the Freedom Flotilla to Gaza. Well, it was for me a very life-changing experience. When I met my colleagues from Gaza, I immediately felt that these people are working together in a way that we are not used to here in Europe, where we tend to be very individualized, very depending on ourselves. I was working in a primary healthcare center and cultural center in Beit Hanoun, and I also did prenatal consultations in the Awda hospital in Jabalia. But especially the team in Beit Hanoun is a family. They welcomed me like a family as well. I went to eat at every single colleague's place. They even made some struggle out of making me the best food and then making me compare between them. They called me Bitinjani because I especially complimented everybody with their excellent eggplants. But it was a little offensive because they wanted me to compliment them on their meat. But these people really are like a family and are like a family to their patients as well. That's why I still have so much contact with them, because the links we had in only 5 months' time are so deep that I want to know how they are. I want to know about their children that were born after I was there. I want to know how they are. And of course, since the genocide, this has been very difficult because many lives are lost and many people lost family members. It is extremely shocking that a hospital can be bombed. The first one was the Al-Ahli hospital, the Hamedani, where there were more than 300, 400 people killed in one strike. It was in October, so at the very beginning. And indeed, you had Dr. Ghassan Abu Sita standing there for a press conference and immediately pointing out, this is a strategy, this is not new. Israel will target every hospital in Gaza, which happened. After this strike, there were all of the 36 hospitals in Gaza have been attacked, have been destroyed. Healthcare workers were imprisoned, were killed. Patients were killed in their hospital beds. In the Al-Shifa hospital, in the Awda hospital, Nasser, European hospital, Kamal Adwan, all of them. And this is not something that happens as collateral damage or as by hazard. If you want to perpetrate a genocide, if you want to exterminate a people, of course you are going to kill journalists because you don't want any witnesses, and you are going to attack health services because that's the last safe haven where people go to. That's the place where their lives can be saved. So you can only deal with that as a healthcare worker if you see it for what it is, a genocidal strategy. And it has happened during all previous attacks on Gaza. Health workers were always the target. And this is something that touches me deeply. These are my colleagues. I really need to defend them. And it immediately pushes you to action because you cannot just deal with your emotions if you're not doing anything. Well, how I ended up on the flotilla, it was a collective decision, of course. It was not Hanne Bosselaers saying, oh, I would like to be on a boat. We thought, as Geneeskunde voor het Volk, with our long-standing solidarity bonds with Awda, we did collecting funds, actions, manifestations, sensibilizing all over. But we felt our government is still not acting. The Belgian government is still staying very complicit. We have normal commercial relations with Israel. There is no boycott. So there are still arms transiting from Belgium to Israel. And we needed to do something more powerful. And we saw that the Freedom Flotillas had a lot of, draw the attention back to Palestine. There was an appeal for medics and journalists to join the Conscience, a larger ship, a 70-meter-old ferry from Turkey, with 92 medical staff and journalists to go symbolically in solidarity with our colleagues, the two groups that have been severely attacked under genocide. So I didn't have to think twice, and Geneeskunde voor het Volk supported me to have this second chance on the Conscience. It wasn't about the people being on the boats, it was this collective international effort. It is the biggest civil disobedience action internationally ever, so it's really a very, very important action. We witnessed the interception of the Global Samud flotilla while we were on the sea, and we were totally shocked that this kind of totally illegal attack on small ships with unarmed people coming with humanitarian aid can just happen in the open sea, in the international waters. But unfortunately, the Israeli forces took us 200 kilometers from the coast. So it was the point, the farthest from the coast ever where a flotilla was stopped. We got kidnapped and pulled to the port of Ashdod. And then the first step you put on land, these Israeli officers, they tell you, you tried illegally to enter our country. Which is absolutely ridiculous, because we were kidnapped in international waters. We were sailing from international waters to Palestinian waters. We had no intention at all to come to Israel. I remember just one conversation with a prison guard when we were coming back from visiting our diplomacy, our consul. She opened the prison door and she said, "Welcome to hell, welcome to your new home." And I told her, "This is your home. I am going to my home very soon. I will not stay here, but you are stuck here." Everything is very cold, these big metal prison doors, and they slam them the whole time. So you have these extremely unpleasant noises the whole time. We got to listen to Israeli nationalist house music, and we got to sit on our knees for a very long time. And there was some humiliation by the police officers. It is their weakness to take on people that are absolutely non-violent and defending just principles of humanity and solidarity. Then it means that you are in moral decline. And that's what I really feel about Israel. There is a moral decline in the whole of the society. It's not only the government, it's all the people that are still standing with this genocidal regime. I want to tell the story of this coffee. It has been my companion in all of my activism for Palestine. I got it from two dear friends from Gaza, Naji and Mohammed. They gave it to me when I was there. They are also wearing a red keffiyeh. And when I went on the flotilla, I asked them, can I sacrifice my dear keffiyeh on the mission? Because I think I need it. I need it for comfort, and it is an ultimate act of solidarity with Palestine, so I will not leave it at home, but I'm really afraid to lose it in the hands of the Zionists. And they gave me their green light. They said, yeah, you can take it with you. So I took it with me, and then was very afraid of losing it. But when the alarm sounded on the Conscience to indicate that the Israeli army had arrived, I put it very profound in my sleeping bag, in his little bag, and I left my stuff, and I thought I would never see my stuff again. But then when we were in the port, All our stuff got checked, threw away a lot of things, everything to do with Palestine, even my watermelon socks, they were thrown in the bin. Nobody got to keep his keffiyeh. But for one or another reason, they didn't go into my sleeping bag. And I still thought it will be lost. That's the sacrifice I make for this mission. But then when we were released and the Turkish government sent an airplane to take us out and we came to Istanbul, there was a very big hall with all of our stuff dispersed in a very disorganized manner. And I found my sleeping bag and I went into it and I got my keffiyeh out. And when I got it out, immediately 20 people came to hug me. It was the only keffiyeh that survived our trip to prison. So I'm very proud and it even got more value to me. Well, yeah, we are banned from entering Israel for 100 years, but I have no intention at all to go back to Israel, not in 100 years. If there is any chance in the near future that I might go to Gaza, I'm already on my way. As soon as Rafah opens, I will be there to see my colleagues from Awda and to work in Awda hospital. As soon as there is a little gap, I'll be off and I'll take some colleagues with me. It's a place of inspiration and dignity. Gaza is It's the most beautiful place in the world.